Hi, everyone. Today we're going to explore social cognitive theory. This was developed by Albert Bandura. He focuses on how learning is shaped by the interaction between personal beliefs, behaviors, and environment. We're also going to closely look at self regulated learning. This explains how students actively manage their own learning processes. So, what is social cognitive theory? Unlike behaviorism, which focuses on observable actions, social cognitive theory emphasizes human agency. Learners aren't passive, they interpret experiences, they make choices, and influences their outcomes. Learning occurs socially through observation, interaction, and feedback. So let's look at the triadic reciprocal causation. Bandura proposed that learning is influenced by three interacting factors: personal, behavioral, and environmental. Importantly, these influences are reciprocal, meaning that each factor can influence and be influenced by others over time. So, why does this matter? This model helps explain why changing a classroom environment can affect motivation or why altering a student's behavior can improve confidence. Teachers can intervene at multiple points, not just by correcting behavior. So let's understand the self in social cognitive theory. So, students often confuse self efficacy, self control, and self regulation. While they are related, they serve different functions and learnings. Understanding these distinctions helps creators design better interventions. So, self efficacy. It refers to a student's belief that they can succeed at a specific task. It's not general confidence or self esteem. Research consistently shows that students with a higher self efficacy persist longer and perform better academically. Self control. This involves resisting distractions or impulses in the moment. While important, it is not the same as self regulation, which involves planning, monitoring, and reflecting over time. Therefore, self regulation is deliberate and an ongoing process. Students set goals, monitor their own progress, and adjust strategies. This skill develops over time and often requires instructional support. Therefore, self regulated learning was described by Barry Zimmerman as a three-phase cycle. Students don't just learn content, they learn how to learn by cycling through planning, action, and reflection. So, phase one is the forethought phase. In this phase, they set goals and plan strategies. Self-efficacy plays a major role here. If students don't believe they can succeed, they are unlikely to engage meaningfully. Phase 2 is the performance phase. This is where learning happens in real time. Students monitor attention, manage effort, and apply strategies. Teachers can support this phase through prompts and guided practice, which happens to be part of the Madeline Hunter lesson cycle. Phase 3 is the self reflection stage or phase. After completing a task, students evaluate their performance. How they attribute success or failure strongly affects future motivation and persistence. So, how can teachers support the self regulation learner? Teachers play a key role by modeling thinking processes, providing scaffolds, and helping students connect success to effort and strategy rather than just fixed abilities. So, how can technology work with and affect social cognitive theory? Technology can act as a temporary regulator, especially for developing learners. When used intentionally, it supports planning, monitoring, and reflection rather than replacing their thinking. So, what is technology that promotes self regulation learners? Tools like dashboards, planners, and metacognitive prompts help students visualize their progress and make informed adjustments to their learning strategies. So let's look at some research insights. Research shows that self efficacy predicts persistence better than prior achievement. Students with poor SRL skills struggle more in unstructured online environments, highlighting the need for explicit instruction. So let's look at this classroom activity for a triadic audit. This activity asks students to apply social cognitive theory to a real classroom challenge. It reinforces the idea that learning problems rarely have a single cause. And we are going to go over this in person in class. So, what are some key takeaways? Social cognitive theory positions learners as active agents by influencing beliefs, environments, or behaviors, and educators can support meaningful, lasting learning. So now let's have a little bit of discussion. How can we encourage students to think critically about how these theories apply to their own learning experiences and future teaching practices? Thank you all for watching and listening, and I'll see you in class.